convey the message of sound in an image.
William Gottlieb sets the precedent for jazz photojournalism. In Gottlieb's own words, Gottlieb's photos remain with us today, and they are some of the most famous of all time. This picture of Django Reinhardt was one of his favorites. When asked about the focus of the Reinhardt photo, Gottlieb responded,
"I made sure that mangled hand working on the strings was in evidence. That's what I had to say."
Gottlieb's ultimate goal would be to capture their personality. That's a very elusive quality, and he couldn't do it a majority of the time. But he would always feature some physical characteristic, or convey the passion, or if it was a unique instrument that the person was playing, something that would add to the text. Ultimately, the human side of the music is what made the images connect to people.
I asked professional musician Owen Cutler what he thought the stereotypical portrait of jazz was. He responded, "A hipster, wearing a pork pie hat with a cigarette in the mouth, at a bar with a sax hanging around his neck. This image comes from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, he said. A lot of drugs and alcohol, probably prostitution, took place in the jazz clubs, and he said jazz was always a little on the shady side." When I asked him what he thought the essence of jazz imaging was, he responded, "I don't think you can really portray sound through an image unless you know the music behind the image."
One of the biggest things associated with jazz images is that of cigarette smoke.
When asked about the image of jazz with cigarette smoke, Gottlieb responded, "A couple of photographers made a thing, a trademark. It makes kind of an interesting photograph to backlight cigarette smoke, and especially if you have electronic flash, it seems to make it a little easier. But not me. You end up doing an essay on smoke and not on the person. And unless there happened to be some specific reason why I was associating cigarettes to that person, I saw no reason to include that as an element in the photograph." Gottlieb knew the men and women behind the music. He knew not to shoot until he saw the whites of their eyes, so to speak. Not now. 2 choruses from now, there will be more motion.